Hello, my name is Kate Martin, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the incorporation of water buffalo into the Canadian dairy industry. One of the biggest challenges facing the future of the Canadian agriculture industry is climate change. As the world's climate continues to change, the overall temperature is going to increase, as well as there is going to be an increased rate in precipitation. These two climate factors will continue to alter and affect Canada's agriculture industry if nothing is done. This challenges all areas of the agriculture industry, including the dairy farmers and their cows. Ideas to help farmers adapt to these changes need to be examined in order for the industry to meet the demand of the growing population. The two largest producing provinces in Canada are Ontario and Quebec, two provinces that will be affected by both increased temperatures and precipitation. These two factors will create an environment that is hard on cows and will negatively affect both reproduction and milk production rates of the animals and the industry. Simply incorporating animals that strive in this kind of environment would allow farmers to take the stress off the animals and still produce a high-quality product. Water buffalo are an example of a dairy-producing species that originated from a tropical environment but can also live through the colder season that Canada undergoes. This warming in temperature will cause the cattle to undergo unnecessary amounts of heat stress, which leads to many complications. Some examples include reproductive problems, a drop in milk production, and increased cases of mastitis. The increased rates of precipitation not only add to the heat stress by creating a more humid environment, but also creating a muddy environment for cows who are out in pasture. This muddy environment can cause many hoof problems, one being strawberry foot rot. I asked two local farmers how heat stress and increased precipitation rates negatively affect their herd health.
Brandon Lease from Meadowbloom Holsteins. We milk 55 cows on a Dale-Val DMS robot in Bruce County. Heat stress is one of our main challenges in the summertime, as it can greatly reduce the dry matter intake, especially in fresh cows, which will lower your milk production and the fat percentage of the milk. It can also affect their reproduction because a cow that's heat stressed is a lot less likely to show a good standing heat and less likely to conceive because their internal body temperature is so high in heat. Holsteins especially are also a lot more susceptible to mastitis and bacteria in their environment when they're heat stressed. So because of this, we have to keep an extra close eye on our cows, especially in an extended heat wave.
Martin of Hidden Spring Holsteins of Elmira. I farm with my husband and our three daughters. We farm out of a traditional old tie-stall dairy barn. We milk about 40 cows. Increased temperatures affect our herd health in the aspect of we see less dry matter intake with our cows when it's really hot. That in turn will result in less milk in the cooler and probably a component change as well. We let our cows outside on a daily basis if the weather allows us to. They have access to some trees to stay cool under. The hard part would be getting your cows to come up and consume enough water during a hot period, potentially in the summertime. We see mastitis rates in hot weather as well can be a problem. Again, if hot goes with damp, mastitis likes damp conditions. So in the barn, we definitely bed our cows with a lot of straw to keep their bedding pack dry. We feel that's a really key cow cleanliness, and that results in lower mastitis rates. Strawberry foot rot increasing in the summer, absolutely with damp conditions. Again, if our cows are going through a lot of mud, we may tend to keep them in the barn more, as mud will promote softer hooves and the ability for bacteria to get in there.
Although the main breed of dairy cattle that make up the Canadian dairy industry are Holsteins, water buffalo also make up a small portion of the Canadian dairy industry already. Water buffalo originated in Asia, where they lived in a warm climate with a high rate of precipitation. Because of the environment they originated from, the physical aspects of the water buffalo include things like wide-set hooves, which were used to keep them from sinking into the deep mud. Also, another positive trait about the water buffalo is that they are less susceptible to many common cattle diseases. One example is mastitis, which is a common disease that challenges farmers, especially in the warmer temperatures. Water buffalo are also known to be docile animals that enjoy human interaction, making them easy to handle and work with. One of the biggest concerns when comparing water buffalo to a Holstein is the amount of milk that they produce. Normally, a good producing Holstein cow will produce around 35 liters per day, where water buffalo produce a much smaller amount of approximately 10 liters per day. Although water buffalo produce a lot less milk, they produce a lot higher quality of milk. Their milk includes 8% fat and 5 to 6% protein compared to the Holstein, which produces 4% fat and 3 to 4% protein. Water buffalo milk also includes the enzyme lactase, which allows lactose-intolerant people to consume it. Because of the high fat content of water buffalo milk, it is mainly used in the production of cheese. Even though there are only a few farms milking water buffalo in Ontario, in countries like Italy, water buffalo farms are very common. The future of water buffalo farms is promising, as there are robot milking systems being used in Italy, which are made specifically to water buffalo. In Italy, they are also doing studies to help improve milk production of the water buffalo, some examples being udder stimulation, feeding during milking, and oxytocin injections. As climate change continues to challenge dairy farmers with negative effects on their animals and production, it is necessary to create a viable option to reduce this stress. The incorporation of water buffalo into Canadian dairy farms would bring in animals that can strive in an environment that is warmer and wetter. Once again, my name is Kate Martin. For any further information or questions, you can contact me at my email, or you can contact the University of Guelph. Also, a detailed written evaluation of this idea is available online.